Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. We have a question today that came into customer service from Doug Kuzanek. And Doug says, it is confusing to hear you talk of vertical alignment from eyes to toes and then have you shift your belt buckle an inch or so to offset from the true vertical position. How does this maintain vertical alignment from tip to toe having shifted the hips heavy right? Please explain why this move is not contrary to the true vertical alignment. Okay, really good question. What Doug is talking about is if I'm staying the camera right now and I'm standing definitely straight up and down, all right? So my spine is basically vertically 90 degrees to the target, to the ground that is. He's saying that when I talk about getting preloaded heavy right and I do this move and I go like 1 inch to the left, he says, how am I no longer in vertical alignment, right? I'm going to try to hold this right here and I go shift like this. So I've moved to the right of this vertical alignment. Yes, that's true. I'm moving to the right of that vertical alignment, but that's not what I'm talking about in terms of vertical alignment. I don't discuss that as vertical alignment. Vertical alignment is involving the parallelness of the body to the aiming line or the target line. Okay? So that means to explain that, I have to take out my alignment arrows. Okay? Now, I'm going to put this one arrow at the target. Target being the camera. Okay? So I'm going to try to set this up as straight as I can get that to the camera. And right now, according to this, the whole camera is completely hidden by this ruler. So I think I'm spot on to the camera. All right? Now I'm going to put a parallel line here. Okay? Parallel left. Now sometimes cameras distort these lines a little bit, but I'm going to show you that they're parallel left because I'm going to now come in here and I got slots in my crossbar here, and I'm going to put this under here and lock it in. And it's locked in, okay? So they're truly perpendicular, even if the camera might distort a little bit. I'm going to check one more time that it hasn't moved. It's still zeroed in on the target. All right, now, when I just did this move, when I went like this, I got preloaded heavy right. I'm going to show you that right now I am standing up dead straight, 90 degrees to the ground. At least that's what I feel. All right, even if I get preloaded heavy right, which gets me behind the ball, the vertical alignment I'm talking about is that I say every time now, when I talk about parallel left toes, all right, I always want you to remember this. When we talk about the toes have to be parallel left for a right-hander, parallel right for a left-hander, of your aiming line to be parallel left. To swing your arms and have your arms swinging the club straight down the target line or the aiming line, wherever you want to hit it. When this is pointing at the target, it's a target line. If you're saying, say you're hitting a little bit of a draw, a little bit of fade, and you have it aimed a little right or left of the target, it now becomes an aiming line. But either way, you should always be parallel left of your aiming line, trying to hit the ball relatively straight, or with just a little bit of curve. You start it from there. Whenever I mention toes parallel left, toe line also must always include forever and ever, every time you think it, you say it, you do it. Toe line means toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes are all parallel. That's what I mean by the vertical alignment. Not from a face-on position, but from the beside the ball position, that we want all these lines, toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes, all parallel left. We don't want the feet parallel, so to speak, and have the shoulders, the knees, shoulders, and hips and eyes open or closed or whatever. Everything needs to start from the same starting point, okay? So everything has to be the same. Toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes. Let us not forget the eyes. Now, a lot of you believe there's about cocking the head one way or the other, or cock the head so you can see behind the ball. Mr. Nicklaus made that famous. It worked for him, but you also got to take that Mr. Nicklaus was extremely vertical and he hit high cuts. All right? And so that worked very well for him. He was also left eye dominant. All right? If you're right eye dominant and you start cocking your head to the right, only thing you're going to have trying to look at the ball is you're going to get your nose between that eye and the ball, and you're going to have trouble seeing your ball. As you know, we always want nose at the ball. So if my ball is right there and I'm standing here, and even if I get a driver up here, I always turn my head to make sure that my nose is at the ball. All right? But no matter what I do, toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes will be parallel left. Okay? How you can check that your nose is at the ball? Just look at the ball, close your eyes and open them up, and the ball should be right in the center of your vision. If it's forward, when you open your eyes up and the ball's not in the center of your vision, then you know the ball is, you'll be able to see, is it two forward or two back? All right, so you need to get that, you need to learn that checkup. But again, vertical alignment is relating to parallel left of your entire body, toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes, parallel left of your aiming line. All right? So that was a great question, Doug. I hope this clears up that question, because I'm sure if you had that confusion, I'm sure a lot of other folks probably had it. And so that's why I use the term there, alignment, not setup. All right? Because in vertical setup, we're never really perfectly vertical setup, because we're preloaded heavy right or preloaded heavy left, depending on if you're right-handed, you're preloaded heavy right. If you're left-handed, you're preloaded heavy left. So vertical alignment refers to the parallelness of all the respective parts of your body, toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes. And I've probably said that for the 10th time already, and you're going to hear me say it 10,000 times more, because alignment, 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 don't play golf without it. And if all your lines aren't starting in the same place, your body is now, so to speak, crisscrossed or even in different directions, that is a really bad power leak. It is a really bad problem for being able to make a consistent swing on path, on plane, and deliver the club squarely to the ball. And it just opens up the whole Pandora's box of issues. Okay? So I'm going to close one last time. Vertical alignment is toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes, all parallel left of your aiming line, so that you can make that on-line, on-plane, and deliver the club square to the ball, so you can get the ball more solid, straight, and shoot those lower scores. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.